Hello, good day everyone. I am Jeffrey Lugod-Tabanyag of BSHM4C, and now let me showcase to you the pre-colonial Filipino culture in two different perspectives. We have Dr. Jose Rizal's point of view and Dr. Antonio de Morga's point of view. But first, let me give you a background about this topic. The development of Philippine historiography can be tracked back during Spanish period. The writings of the early friars were basically missionary history. The recorded observation on the life of the early Filipinos are indispensable in the understanding of Filipino past. Since the early historians were Spanish friars, their accounts were focused on the Spanish history of the Philippines, specifically their missionary experience in the country. Although their accounts contain biases against the early Filipinos, the information that they provided can be used Filipino historians to correct the mistakes committed by early historians. Among the Spanish officials who served the country, Dr. Antonio de Morgas can be considered as the most respected. Dr. Morga's Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas can be considered as the most reliable sources of information regarding the 16th century Philippines. During this time, Rizal was greatly interested in studying pre-colonial Philippines. He believed that Philippines already had establishment, community, way of life, and society, and was not backwards and inferior as Spanish claimed. On the contrary, Rizal was resolved that the arrival of the Spaniards contributed to the decline of the rich pre-colonial Filipino society and culture. And now, let's move on to the categories. Lifestyle.
Morgan says a lalaw is very small fish which is needed dried in the sun or air, then cooked in various ways.
According to Rizal, a lalaw is called a salted and dried sardine. He said that Morga seems to refer to the lilies of Batangas or dilis.
Morga said that cotton was grown extensively in the practical of all islands, which the natives sold as a thread of wooden fabrics to Chinese and the other foreign merchants.
Rizal clarified that Morga must have meant sinama, which was woven from abaca thread that comes from the trunk, not the leaves.
Language.
Morga said that a house with parents and children in the room together is called bahandin, and inasawa is a wife married to a native man.
In Tagalog, house is called pambahay. It is impossible that bahandin have been printed for bahayin because it is obsolete derivative. Asawa is a term called for the wife of a native man.
Beliefs.
According to Morga, taking baths without regards to weather, this might be injurious to their health.
Indians are very careful not to take bath during siesta, after luncheon, first 2 days of Qatar, and etc.
There were no priests or men of religion to attend to religious matters except old men, sorcerers, and wizards. People believed in omens and superstitions which the devils inspired them to do, so that they could tell whether the sick person would live or die.
The priests, Catalona or Babaylan, are well-dressed, rich peoples that are not honored because they are considered as loafers. In the case of Francisco Amandao, as proof where he offered half of his body to the Anitos and later the other half was paralyzed.
Socials.
Morga said namamahay are those who help build their master's house, and serve frequently as helpers when there are guests, and serve their masters when their master requires them to without compensation.
Rizal said that the mamahay slaves still exist, but they are now called kasama. They are now partners or laborers of capitalist or farmer.
Also, Morga said that in every island or provinces, many principles were known among the people, some being more important than having the followers, which families and barriers obeyed and respected. These known individuals or families form friendship and relationship with each other, and sometimes, due to differences, even wars.
Rizal pointed out that friendly relationships were more common than those of wars.
Marriage.
According to Morga, the grooms contributed dowry that he had reserved from his parents, while the bride does not bring anything until she inherits some of her parents.
For Rizal, a Filipino woman helped his husband and it's not seen as a burden when they get married. To a man, marrying means getting introduced to a lifestyle that a bachelor is not consumed with, especially in terms of economy or financially.
Natives!
Morga was fascinated with the social organization of the natives. He describes origin, differences, privileges of social classes, upwards and downwards, mobility, inheritance of the positions and titles.
Rizal emphasized that native women, unlike their European counterparts, lost their noble titles. In marriage, it was the groom who gave the bride's parents a dowry because they were losing a precious daughter.
Religion.
By the Christian religion, Dr. Morga appears to mean that the Roman Catholic wished by fire and sword he would preserve in its purity in the Philippines. Nevertheless, in the other lands, notably in the Flanders, this means more ineffective to keep the church unchanged or to maintain its supremacy or even to hold its subject.
According to Rizal, Christianity was a weapon for facilitating the political and economic subjugating of the native.
Government.
Morga was critical of the system of the government, which he said barely existed because there were no powerful figures that ruled over myriad communities, most of them coastal, each with its own set of leaders.
Rizal said that it was better the way that there is no need for communities to be beholden to the one ruler who didn't even live among them and wasn't familiar with their needs and problems.
And that's the end of the statement of both sides. Hope you learned something. Once again, my name is Jeffrey Lugod Tabanyag. Let me ask you, which side does your belief lies?